hours on June 7, 1944, a British tugboat began dragging a massive concrete caisson across 20 kilometers of channel water. The structure, roughly the size of a 5-story building, displaced 6,000 tons, with a draft measuring 18 meters. Moving at just 3 knots, it was photographed twice by German reconnaissance planes, once off Portsmouth and once south of the Isle of Wight. However, Luftwaffe intelligence classified the images as fortification debris and never followed up. This was Phoenix Unit 47, one of 146 hollow concrete boxes that would form the breakwaters for 2 artificial harbors opposite the Normandy coast, Mulberry A at Omaha Beach and Mulberry B at Arromanches. These harbors would facilitate the offloading of 2.5 million men, 500,000 vehicles, and 4 million tons of supplies, more tonnage than all of Dover's traffic in 1943. The concept defied traditional principles of harbor construction. Natural harbors typically require decades, bedrock foundations, and extensive wave studies. Mulberry was to be assembled in just 150 days, with no comprehensive surveys beyond outdated Admiral tie charts from 1898. Its predicted lifespan was at least 90 days. There was no time for conventional methods. Churchill proposed this solution in May 1942 after the disaster at Dieppe, when 106 Canadian soldiers drowned in just 4 feet of water trying to unload tanks on an open beach. He sent a 1-sentence memo: "Piers for use on beaches. They must float up and down with the tide." By August, 3 separate design teams, naval architects in Bath, civil engineers in London, and concrete specialists in Southampton, worked independently. They only learned of each other's efforts in October, leading to immediate contradictions. A harbor needs stability, which requires mass. Stability needs time to build, but time was the one resource they lacked. Initially, steel was considered but rejected within 72 hours due to Britain's steel shortages. Concrete became the default solution. It required aggregate, formwork, curing time, and transport factors that were all problematic under wartime constraints. Chief Engineer Bruce White analyzed the forces at Arromanches in November 1943. Tidal range of 6.4 meters, second highest in Europe. Storm surge potential of 3 meters above high water. Wind gusting up to 90 kph. Wave periods of 8 seconds, with 4-meter-high waves in a gale. Conventional breakwaters would need 40,000 tons of rock per kilometer, something unavailable. White's solution was the innovative Phoenix floating caissons to be towed across the channel and flooded to settle on the seabed. Each unit featured a double skin, ballast chambers, and sacrificial zones designed to withstand 200 tons of lateral wave force. No one knew if this math would work. It was untested. Production began in January 1944 at 6 sites: Southampton, Dungeness, Sealy, Leppey, Stokes Bay, and others. The concrete mix was experimental: high early strength, seawater resistant, cured faster by adding pulverized fuel ash. Formwork was reusable only once due to warping. Reinforcement came from melted down railings. By March, the pace was rapid: 1 Phoenix unit every 4 days. Each required hundreds of truckloads of aggregate, tons of cement, and steel. Operations ran continuous 12-hour shifts, often at night, to meet wartime demands. In April, a Phoenix unit developed a 4-meter crack during tow trials due to differential curing, outer walls setting faster than inner walls, creating thermal stress. Repairs involved grout injection, and the engineers decided to proceed despite reduced strength estimates. By May, 115 units were in holding anchorages, photographed repeatedly by German reconnaissance, who believed they were anti-submarine barriers. On June 6, 1,944 D-Day 70 units left Sealy at 1,400 hours, towing across the channel with an estimated 40-hour transit. Weather was deteriorating, but the orders went ahead once the beachhead was secured. Some units broke free mid-channel, drifted east, or sank, causing loss of life and equipment. By June 9th, the first Phoenix caisson settled onto the seabed in 11 meters of water, displacing 114,000 liters faster than predicted. It hit bottom with enough force to crack in 3 places, but was deemed structurally sound at 40%. Within days, 30 units formed a 2-kilometer breakwater, reducing wave height from 2.1 meters to just 0.4 meters. This allowed LSTs to offload at 11 tons per hour instead of 3. On June 19th, a fierce storm struck waves reaching 5.8 meters, well beyond the 3-meter design limit. Mulberry A at Omaha disintegrated, with structures cracking, shifting, and smashing into the harbor. A hole was punched in a landing ship, which sank in 11 minutes, with casualties. Meanwhile, Mulberry B at Arromanches held, though some units cracked or leaked. Engineers quickly assessed, monitoring cracks and inflow, some of which stabilized, and remarkably, many units survived the storm well beyond expectations. By June 23rd, Mulberry B was a total loss: 19 units destroyed, 11 severely damaged, and 14 displaced. But the harbor still operated at reduced capacity, handling over 9,200 tons daily, more than planned, and outperforming German expectations. Salvage operations recovered intact components, pontoons, spud assemblies, roadway sections, and reinstalled them. By July, Mulberry B was back to offloading 15,800 tons daily. Despite damage, the harbor proved resilient, outliving its expected 90-day lifespan by 4 months, supporting the Allied push into France. The last Phoenix caisson was poured on Bastille Day, July 14, 1944. It never saw action but remains today, 74 units still partially visible, 72 fully submerged. Declared a maritime monument by France in 1989, these structures have defied predictions. After 80 years underwater, they retain 60% of their original strength, twice what engineers expected. The Phoenix breakwaters proved that innovative engineering, even under impossible deadlines, can outperform expectations and save lives. They remain a testament to ingenuity in the face of adversity.